Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining, and please sit back, relax, and enjoy your stay. How's everybody doing today? I miss my friends, man. I miss my friends so much. Why did it have to end so early? I miss them. That's how I am. I just miss them a lot. But it was really fun though while it was happening. What's it called? So recently I went into the I went to meet up with a bunch of friends. Some of them you might know, like Froppy and Meta. They've been in this channel before. Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, aside from the time that Meta accidentally almost broke my Switch 2. I'm looking at you, Meta. I don't know if you're in chat or not, or you'll be watching this later on or not. But, yeah. My Switch 2 has a scratch now. Just saying. Nah, I'm not actually pissed off about it. But I will give him a hard time about it. Yeah, no, that's all good. We were all having fun. It's all good. So day one of us getting in. I should have organized how I wanted to talk about this, but hindsight is 2020, and I did not take my medication today. So I am all over the place. My brain cell is like a DVD logo screen, bouncing from one wall to the other. So this is gonna be really awkward, but we're gonna get through this somehow. So, first day, I meet up with Froppy and pick her up at the airport. So I picked Froppy up at the airport with a bunch of her other Melburnian friends. We didn't hang out too much, but like, I'm not gonna name names. And if you're watching this, please, for the love of God, get some Tic Tacs or some breath mints. Because one of the people that I didn't hang out with, I'm not gonna say how many people I picked up or who they are, but if they are watching this, just so you know, I had to ask Froppy to somehow find a way to tell you guys that one of you needs a breath mint. Sorry, that's just like, I don't know what you ate, but, yeah, anyways, we're not gonna linger on that, but, what's it called? Me and Froppy ended up staying at a hotel, and, right after we got to the hotel, we unpacked, and by unpacked, I mean we unzipped our luggage and then just left it in the living room without actually taking anything out. And then we just sort of like, what's it called? We called up some of our other friends that we were going to hang out with, and then we went dress shopping. That was really fun. Like, it was the first time I'd ever gone dress shopping before, so it was a very interesting experience. Froppy took a lot of dresses for me and like took them to my changing room. It was fun. I now know what dress size I am, and yeah, it was really good. I got this floral print dress, this dark floral print dress, and what's it called, a crop jacket to put over it. And it's like, it was really nice. And then we went to like, okay, we first went to like a place called what was it called? Kissen d'Amour or something. Something like that. I think that was the name. But it was a really nice looking shop with like a very specific theme to it. I didn't really like a lot of the lighter color stuff, but I did really like their dark floral print. And yeah. I considered getting shoes as well, but nah. Not the shoes. We did go to we then went to Dangerfield after that. And what's it called? We went to Dangerfield and I saw like a cap, like a beret that looked a lot like Cappy's hat. So so obviously I bought that. And when I brought this up with Froppy, she was like, Cappy cosplay? Which was very interesting to say the least. But, yeah, no, like, I wasn't originally planning on cosplaying for either days, but on the first day, because I had the Cappy hat, I ended up attaching cat ears over my, over the blue beret. Oh, actually, before that, there's an interesting story about the blue beret. So, you know, the blue beret actually makes me look very feminine, apparently, especially with the hairstyles that I choose. But, so after dress shopping, we ended up meeting with a couple of Aussie VTubers just after they had dinner, and we ended up going to Time Zone and all that, and you know, spending like an hour in line for the Emperor Puffs, because for some reason something went wrong with their machine, so the long line was even longer. I don't know how many of you have been to Sydney's Chinatown, but they have like this one stall that's like full of Emperor Puffs, which is basically like I don't know, it's like a ball that kind of tastes like a really thin pancake, but inside there's like this warm custard or something. It's really nice. Yeah. So we visited the Chinatown night markets. We ended up meeting up with some Aussie VTubers. You know, I got a bit acquainted with some people. Then we went to Time Zone, and then everybody else left before us because we were busy playing My Festival. Me and Froppy were too busy playing My Festival to notice that everyone else had left. So there was that. And then on our way home, we got to the hotel lounge. And as soon as we walked through the door, I just hear behind me, "Hey, so how's that blue beret treating you, huh?" I was like, it's fine, thanks." Froppy! Oh, I have a story about Froppy later, and okay. Like, I have a story about Froppy, okay. She is such a brave sweetheart. But first, the story about me getting hit on. And like, I'm kind of glad that Froppy was there, because I would not have known how to handle that guy, but like, I was like, it's fine. It's fine, thank you. And then he was like, yeah, would you and your friend over there like to come have drinks with us tonight? And I was like, no thanks. And like, you know, Froppy was also no thanks. It was just like, I got hit on while I was wearing a dress for the first time ever. Hello, anime girl. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, enjoy your stay. Yeah, no, Froppy was the one who took the lead with saying no with that guy, because like after I said no, I didn't want to say anything else. I'm so happy Froppy was there. Yeah, no, like on top of that as well, like while I was playing My Festival with that dress, there was this one guy who I ended up playing with, because you know, if you play 2-player on My Festival, you get an extra song. And like, whenever he picked a song, and I've never had this done to me before, he would look at me as he picked certain songs. And the one time that he did pick a song, he looked at me and saw me turn it from expert to advanced. So I lowered the difficulty. And then he sort of like backed out of that song and picked a different song that had a lower expert difficulty, and I'm just like, did you do that for me? You know, I'm doing all right, thanks, anime girl. How are you? Yeah, it was interesting to say the least. I got to experience both the bad and the good of being, you know, of being a girl out in the city. Yeah, no, so the second day, like, well, actually, another thing. Starting from day one, neither me nor Froppy got enough sleep on any of the days. That's all I'm gonna say. Because, like, on the first day, like, the very first day me and Froppy ever, like, went to went to go to sleep. When we got home after that whole thing about me getting hit on, yeah, our feet kind of hurt because, like, obviously we haven't been walking in the city for a while, and Froppy lived in Melbourne and drove around the city, I believe. I think. I'm not sure. But I think Froppy, like, drives around the city. Unlike in Sydney, where it is more encouraged that you walk around. And we walked everywhere. And, like, our friend Meta was there as well, with Baker and all that. I recently found out that I have the highest stamina out of all my friends. It was very interesting, to say the least. And, ooh, Golden Legacy book. Nice, nice. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, what's it called? Instead of sleeping, you want to know what we did on the very first night after we got home at like 12 a.m. or 12:30 or something? We ended up filling up the bathtub with hot water. And then we grabbed the chairs from the dining table. And then just put it right next to the bathtub. And while we had our feet soaking into hot water, we just had karaoke. And by this point, it was already like 1:30, maybe. And we just kept singing. I'm surprised we didn't get any noise complaints, to be honest. It was really funny. But yeah, no, it was actually really fun. And I do not regret... Okay. Yes and no. I do not regret why we stayed up late and what we did as we stayed up late, but I do regret the lack of sleep on all days. Because as I got less and less sleep each day, I had less and less stamina for walking around. And I think the same was said for all of them, because everybody got tired a lot quicker than the first day. But anyways, so, we soaked, and we, did karaoke, and then, like, we took turns taking a bath, and then we went to sleep. And then comes the con. So, the con. What to say about the con? What's it called? I already said where I was going. It's Smash, Sydney Manga Anime Show. About the con, I'm kind of disappointed overall, to be completely honest with you, as somebody who used to go there a lot pre-pandemic. I hadn't been there since the pandemic happened, but honestly, it's different now. Like, I don't know, just there's less events that I'm interested in, for one. And secondly, a lot of the events that are still there have been downgraded, if that makes sense. Like, for example, the karaoke room. Back then, even before Smash had sponsors like Joy Sound and Live Dam, their karaoke room had like had the ability to get instrumentals and whatnot. And if they didn't have the instrumentals, they could get it online, or you could download it for them if they couldn't find it. Now, what's it called? I went to the karaoke room with Froppy, and we waited for about an hour and a half for our song, which was, we were going to duet Inochi ni Kirawara Teiru's rap version by Harusaruhi. And, that's part of what we practiced the other night as well. It's why we stayed up, which is why I'm extra freaking pissed off, okay? I am extra fucking pissed off that this happened. But their new karaoke system, number one, not only has limited songs, they don't even have the instrumentals, so you have to sing over the original singer. And speaking of original singers, my god, the amount of people who put Aishite, 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 Ado's version, and tried to sing like Ado was staggering! I was going to sing Aiste, Aiste, Aiste. But then after 5 people in front of me within that hour had Aiste, 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 I had to change it because I was like, I'm going to go crazy if I'm the one, if I have to sing this as well. And like, yeah, it wasn't the greatest. And in all honesty, like, I don't know, like, maybe I just didn't go to the right places myself. But, wait, hang on, I'm not done with the karaoke story. So, back to the karaoke story. After I changed my song to Bansanka, there was still about 30 minutes left before me and Froppy started doing a duet. Because it was going to be a duet and then a solo by me. Which ended up being a duet with her again anyway. So, you know, that was fun. What's it called? Another 3 people had Aiste, Aiste, Aiste. And you want to know what else? I saw the list of people who were singing, okay? And right after me, right after I had listed Aiste, 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 there was another person who wanted to sing Aiste, Aiste, Aiste after me. Like freaking Aiste, Aiste. Motto, motto, Aiste, Aiste. Oh, and speaking of, there was this one guy who just like screamed everything. And I'm just like, my god, my ears. But yeah, we didn't stay the entire day at the con, but it was super fun when we did do what we did. So, you know, I visited my, I visited my rig mama, Rhina. And then, oh, yeah, no, like, as a vocal coach. Okay, as a con goer, I did my best, my utmost to keep up with the karaoke room culture, which is, you know, cheer for them even if they're bad. As a vocal coach, on the other hand, all I have to say is, stop. Stop screaming. Stop doing that. You are going to destroy your voice. You are not doing it the way Ado is. Hers is a vocal fry. Yours is just straight up screaming and belching. It's not even belting, it's belching. Like, I have to imagine his throat hurt like hell after that, because that was not the proper way at all. Like, a part of me was just like, ugh. Like, I was already pained as a normal viewer. As somebody who used to do vocal coaching. No. No. Anyways. What's it called? Yeah, it's all good. It's unfortunate, but it's whatever. I will say, though, the only thing that they improved on so far that I could see since the pandemic, I don't know if it got worse this year or if it's, you know, just gone downhill since the pandemic happened. But, what's it called? City Manga Anime Show. The only thing I think they improved on was the maid cafe spacing. The spacing specifically. Because I recall the food being better last time I went there. Like, what's it called? Their karaage chicken was really dry. That was what I had. I had the karaage chicken from the maid cafe. And it was really dry, and, I don't know. The maid lineup they had this year for the dance that they had, I feel like the butler at the very end had more energy than any of the maids. Like, it was kind of disappointing, to be honest. But, yeah, what can you do? I still had fun, though, because I was with friends. If I was alone and I experienced all that, I would have just been like, I should have saved my money. But because I was with friends, I had fun. It was okay. It was fine. Yeah. So we didn't stay the entire time. we eventually ended up, because I had booked us an escape room for 4:30 between me, Froppy, Meta, and Baker, who's Froppy's mod. And yeah, we ended up going there, and God bless her heart, this is a part of the story. Froppy, are you still here? Froppy, Frops a lot, Frops a lot. Miss Frog Vtuber, are you still here? Miss Fropico? No? Yeah? Maybe? Okay. I feel so bad, okay? Because, number one, I didn't know that this is one of those horror themes where you actually couldn't see. Like, there were barely times where you can see. So a lot of times, like, it was a small area, but you had to remember where the map is. And they gave you, like, shin pads and elbow pads just in case. But, like, yeah, from the get-go, after the first jump scare, as we were walking towards our first objective, because we got a jump scare there, Froppy started clinging onto my arm and was shaking and crying. And I felt so bad. I was like, are you okay? Do you need to leave? You know? She was like, no, I can do this. Keep going. And it's just like, oh, bless her heart. Like, the entire time she was shaking and scared and like, okay. Like, I have a few comments about the escape room, but first I want to talk about Froppy, okay? Like, Froppy is such a kind, respectable, and like, she's just so admirable, okay? Because like, she was so scared, and yet despite that fact, she kept going because she didn't want to ruin it for anybody, and she wanted to, you know, she wanted to best herself as well as like not cause trouble for people. And like, okay, here's the thing. Froppy has opened up to me about a lot of things. I'm not gonna specify what they are, but at the time I thought maybe like, what's it called? Like, you know, my initial thought was that Froppy was the type of person to just want to have fun, even if it's like, you know, not ideal. Like, she just doesn't like confrontation. But now, after that horror escape room, I've come to realize something about Froppy, and this is why I admire her a lot. Okay, Froppy will go through hell if it means that everybody around her can have fun. Even if she is literally crying and shaking, and to the point where her legs actually gave up at some point. Like, gave way for a bit because of, like, what's it called? Okay, here's the thing. In that escape room, there are certain objectives with which the radio will tell you that only this specific person can go. And because Froppy was so scared, I radioed back. I was like, sir, this member of ours isn't exactly 100%. Is it okay if somebody else goes? And they said, you can go with her. So I did. And, as we turned the corner, like, you know, she was clinging onto my arm. She was still shaking, like, you know, I'm like, it's okay. Stay there. Like, you know, we're here. I'm right here. You know, I turned the corner, and there was, like, this one hole in the wall that I knew something was going to come out of. It just so happened to be that time for that hole. And, like, you know, this creepy girl in a white dress and long hair just suddenly start running towards us while strobe lights flash. And, you know, my first thought wasn't, oh shit, that's scary, let's run. My first thought was, oh god, Froppy. Because the moment that happened, I felt her weight shift as she went back out. And, like, you know, I was holding onto her hand, and she was shaking, and she, like, her legs had actually given out. And I was just like, oh, you poor thing. It's okay. If you don't want to, you know, we can, you can finish this for now if you want, you know? Nobody's gonna hold it against you. It's just like, no, I'll keep going. You know, just the entire time, I have so much respect for Froppy. She is such a sweetheart. Like, bless her heart. It's just... I feel so bad about bringing her there to begin with, but yeah. Yeah. Baker and Meta, on the other hand, were just pissed off they couldn't see. Yeah, yeah, no, like, I really do admire Froppy for that, because if I were in a situation where I was so scared that my legs were literally giving out and somebody gave me the option to leave, I would have. You know, I would have just sat outside, waited, told them to take their time, I'll be back, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, I wouldn't have, like, I would have just told them to continue, you know? I wouldn't have put myself through that entire experience if it was that scary for me. But, yeah, no, like, Froppy, honestly, like, I feel like Froppy is one of the closest friends I have right now. Like, she helped me open up a bit more about, you know, about certain topics on stream, like, being a little bit more unhinged, and it's honestly been fun. I feel a little bit less shackled down, if that makes sense. And, you know, we've been opening up to each other a lot about some other stuff as well. And, yeah, just, honestly, like, Froppy is an inspiration. She's very much an inspiration. And I really do hope that, you know, I really do hope she had fun regardless. Yeah, I feel really bad about it. But, yeah, so, let's just, yeah. We'll go back to the escape room for now, as a whole. But, it was a little bit confusing. They made some offhanded remarks about my character having a head injury, which I didn't really think anything of, other than the fact that maybe my character has hallucinations or something. And, yeah, that was not the case. I won't say much about it, but the puzzles were a little bit confusing, especially because, one of the puzzles involved matching the lights to the taps. And unfortunately, the lights did not match the tap color. Like, there were like maybe 3 different tap colors with varying tones. Because I know there was at least 2 different greens, but there was only 1 green on the light. And, yeah, it did not make sense to me at all. Anyways, we eventually just put the magnet through the scratches on the wall without caring too much about the whole whatchamacallit, the whole rigmarole with the whole lighting thing. It took us a while, and I eventually just decided, okay, screw it, this, and then it worked, and it was number 2. And yeah, like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the puzzles didn't seem to work too well. Like, the keypad puzzle, we actually had to radio in and tell them what code I was pushing in. They were like, huh, that should be right. And then, eventually they just turned off the lights, unlocked the door, and, told us to go through. And then closed the door behind us. It was really interesting. So, the puzzles themselves, not the best. Cinematography, on the other hand, was actually pretty good, except for certain parts where the sound was a little bit too what's it called? The sound was a little bit too loud at times, so we sometimes couldn't hear over the sound, like what they were saying. Cause like sometimes the voice acting gets cut off a little by the sound effects. I feel like they need a bit more stage direction on that front. But in terms of using the lighting and to like to do all the flashbacks and the cinematography and stuff. Like, man, it was so good. And yeah. That being said, the final piece of the puzzle, the final bit of lore, so to speak, that I should have read, I did not read. I just glanced over because somebody else was reading it. I thought, oh, somebody else will be able to, you know, figure it out. And it turns out I should have been the one to read that because my character specifically turned out to be the bad guy all along. So I went back to one of the role players in the thing that like was like, okay, you're going to help me catch your friends. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I don't know why I'm doing this, but my friends are gonna be captured now. Okay. But yeah, no, like, I have no idea what went on there, but, it was very interesting to say the least. Apparently, like, well, just in case somebody ends up in that same escape room, I won't say anything, but, yeah, the story was very interesting. I won't necessarily say good, I won't necessarily say bad, but it was definitely interesting. I'm kind of sad that the others didn't see it that way, though. Especially since I'm the one who paid for it. Thanks, guys. No hate. But, yeah. Once again, though, like, you know, like, okay, here's the thing. During the final puzzle room, I get why they were annoyed. Because during the final puzzle room, we had to figure out what to put as the username. And it was supposed to be the birthday of this one guy in the story. And, like, what's it called? Because it's a Hong Kong prison, the dates are backwards. So you start with the year first or something. Or maybe not the year. You start with the month first and then the day. Unlike here in Australia where it's day first and then month. And like, we weren't sure whether or not we were doing this or that or that or this. We had to math it out. And eventually, after finally figuring out which combination worked, here's the thing. Like, Froppy was still kind of super scared, and she just kind of curled up in one of the corners. I feel so bad for this, but the moment they got the right code in, a box opened from the roof and dropped the key right next to her. I was like, oh god, Froppy, are you okay? And then immediately I saw what dropped, and it was like, oh my god, it's like a black credit card. We're rich, guys. But yeah, right after that, Froppy finally stood up and everything, and it's just like, you know. Froppy was like, hey, maybe we could get in on it. Because, like, the story had gone into, like, selling organs or something like that. They're like, I don't need a kidney. Yeah. It was fun. Like, a lot of these things I had fun with because I was with friends. That's crazy. So it sounds like a lot happened. Yeah, a lot of things happened. I don't want to spoil too much in case anybody watching does go to that specific escape room and they put 2 and 2 together. But, like, I mean... I feel like they need some fine-tuning to make it a more seamless experience. I did have fun, though. It was good. And then afterwards we went out to eat, and then we did the Saturday stream. Which, okay, Streamer X, review time. I don't like the fact that they removed the button with which to put P48 on or off. You have to actually download the software and connect it to your computer. And not a lot of people will know that. So anybody who has condenser mics will not know to download the Rodecaster software. And for those who have broadcaster mics or have several different mics, it's also bad because now you have to go into the software and make sure you turn it off that way. And it doesn't help. I didn't know P48 was turned off, by the way, because for some reason, it's completely black. Like the indicator is completely black when you first start it. And then when you do plug it in, it lights up slightly. So I thought it was on, but no, it lights up even more if it is on. So that's that. Also, broadcaster mics, they don't need P48, which is probably why it was set off as default. But I don't have broadcaster mics. I have condenser mics. I've only ever owned condenser mics. So there's that. But yeah, anyways. We did the stream, it was after we ate and we walked around a bit. I got to see Meta and Baker's apartment. It was significantly smaller than mine, which makes sense because it was $200 cheaper. Yeah, no, they ended up baking on my apartment instead. Instead of theirs. Even though we have the same oven, technically my kitchen is way bigger. So, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. They baked us cookies, and it was nice. Yeah. And then, what's it called? We ended up staying up quite a bit, to be honest. And then come day 2 of the con. What did we do day 2 of the con? Right, Froppy had an interview with, somebody from the media. Hello, Shaggy, welcome to the stream. Hello, Paige, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm just really sad, because, okay. I'll get to the sad part in a moment, but, what's it called? I just really, really miss my friends, and, I had a lot of fun experiences, and got to open up a lot, and, spread my wings, as it were. It's just really sad that I can't really hang out with them IRL anymore. At least not for a while. It's we all live pretty far away. And I mean, technically I could technically visit them anytime I want. But it's a lot of money to do so. Yeah, what's it called? I'll get to it in a minute, but I'll go at it in somewhat in order. But basically, Sunday rocked up, and we ended up in the artist alley and all that, blah 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 blah. It's all good. Yeah, I can still talk to them via Discord. I'm still doing that. We were just talking in Discord a few minutes ago before the stream started, but it just doesn't feel the same as when we're walking around and talking and opening up to each other about things. Especially at night, when you really want to be you're just sitting in a couch, you sit together in a couch, play a bit of Super Smash Brothers, and then you just sort of, after you get tired of that, you sort of talk to each other. That's how we spent most of our times off of the con, I miss that a lot. Sorry, I'm getting a little teary-eyed again. I haven't seen a friend of mine in a while, but we're going to see each other tomorrow evening. Hell yeah, that's so good. I'm so happy for you. But yeah, I'm going at it in order, because, I don't want to start crying right at the beginning. Yeah, so, we went to the con, we did a bunch of other stuff. I visited my rig mama again. Froppy accidentally knocked over one of her stands. Oh god. Oh, that was a yikes. But yeah, no, she said she was okay. We made sure. I came back a little later on. We got some we got a Polaroid done of us. So I have a Polaroid of me in a dress now. It was fun. Ooh, K-pop Demon Hunters. Hell yeah, let's go. I still need to start watching that. But yeah, you know, afterwards we played around a little bit with some of our friends before heading to the Aussie VTuber meetup, like After Dark meetup. And, you know, I got introduced to some people. Froppy forgot the cake by accident, so we had to get one of our... I had to walk out and meet them halfway between the venue and our place. And, you know, that's fine on its own. That's fine. Except for the fact that they got lost, so I had to wait an extra 10 to 15 minutes. I'm kidding. It's all good. Yeah. And, you know, I came back. I ended up, you know, at first, I couldn't quite figure out how to converse with people. It kind of seemed like, everybody already had their own thing they were talking about. And, yeah, I didn't really vibe with any of them at first. But then eventually, after I got back with the cake and, like, I started talking to some more people, you know, I kind of started, you know, I kind of started getting the hang of talking to people. And, like, people started laughing and all that, and we're all really happy. And, like, you know, I got to make some friends. I was able to, make some new Aussie friends. And, yeah. Let's see. We ended up doing karaoke at the night as well, by the way. And I feel a little bad for the karaoke concierge because I was helping Froppy set it up. Because she was like karaoke, and I wanted to do karaoke as well. So I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. I called them the first time. I was like, I don't know how many people will be interested yet, but do you have a room for like around 8 people-ish? They're like, yeah, sure, we have a room for that. Well, what time would you like to reserve it? I was like, probably around 11:30, you know? He's like, yeah, that's good, that's fine. Because, like, karaoke bars close at, like, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., depending. But, yeah, I called, like, I got off the call, okay? And then I went back to Froppy, who was going around asking people, you know, getting numbers, like, getting proper numbers. And eventually she was like, okay, we have 11 people. Can you see if they can have 11 people? And I was like, Froppy, you missed it. You missed all the things that I was saying about you. How do you know that's how it's spelled, huh? Maybe I meant it with a PIE at the end. But yeah, what's it called? So I called the concierge again. It's just like, hey, just a quick question. Is there a room for 11 people? And they were like, yeah, sure, we have 11 people. And then cool, I hang up again. And then I go to Froppy. She's like, there's 13 now. And I was like, oh, okay. Should I call him back? She's like, yeah, make sure there's one for 13 people. And so I called him again. It's just like, hey, sorry, it's me again. Do you guys have, like, room for 13 people? And it's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And so I hang up again. And then all of a sudden, there's 15 people. It's like, okay, Froppy, let's make sure we have the right number beforehand. And eventually it went up to 17 people. And that was what we stuck with. It was like, hey, so sorry again. It's me again, Lorelai. Can I book, like, what's the maximum that you guys can have in one room? And they were like, oh, you can have a maximum of like 20 in our normal rooms and even more in our VIP rooms. I was like, okay, cool. We have 17 people now. And that should be the final number. I promise we won't call again. It was like, yeah, sure, that's all good. I feel a little bad. They must have been like, is this guy actually gonna show up or is he taking a piss? But yeah, no, like, it was super fun. You know, I got to duet with one of my VTuber siblings, Mika, who's Very talented as well, by the way. You should go check him out if you can. Bakanuki Mika. I think that was it. Bakanuki. Yeah. The Tanuki VTuber, yes. And yeah, it was good. We ended up seeing Aishite together. Because, like, it was stuck in my head, and I needed to get it out. But yeah, no. And then, you know, eventually the night ends. Everybody was hugging me at this point, you know. They're like, I'm not sure if you want to hug or not. And I was like, yeah, go hug me. I'm a very big hugger, by the way. But I haven't hugged anybody in a very long time, aside from my mother. And, like, I don't know. It opened me up a little bit more because I hadn't really been physical with a lot of friends recently. Because, like, I used to be really big on hugging. Like, I'm a very touchy-feely person. Like, I like hugging. And, you know, I like hugging, holding hands, linking arms, blah, 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 stuff like that. And, you know, getting that many hugs kind of reawakened that a little bit in me. And, like, what's it called? Like, it's not as if I hadn't hugged Froppy and all that at all during the trip. Like, you know, we gave, like, courtesy hug whenever we'd meet up and stuff like that. But truthfully, in terms of, like, my closest friends, I always want to give my closest friends a lot of hugs, and especially big hugs. And, you know, so, come the next day, you know, it was finally time for Froppy to leave. There was a lot of problems with that one because, her flight got canceled. So we were freaking out because, like, we didn't know what was going on because it was on somebody else's name because it was a staff discount thing. I'm not going to say more than that, but yeah, we couldn't contact this specific staff. And, so we panic bought a ticket, and it was just like, you know, it was a whole kerfuffle. But we eventually fixed everything. Everything's all good, and yeah, I think the sad part would be around here when we finally got everything settled, you know. We knew what time Froppy was actually going to be leaving, and I was already feeling this way beforehand, but, like, you know, now that everything was 100% settled, we'd already given them the luggage and whatnot for Froppy. We were just walking around, going to meet with our friends one last time, because we now have time. It dawned on me that I wasn't going to see these people that I really, really like for a very long time. And, I really, really started missing them, even as we were walking, and I was trying so hard to hide it the entire time. And, like, technically speaking, that night before I went to sleep, I kind of already also started tearing up a little bit. And, like, you know, my mind kind of went to things like how I sort of, like, I sort of got reminded why I didn't like life too much, because it's never just happy moments, you know, it's sad moments. But at the same time, with these friends, you know, okay, with the friends that I do have here in Australia that I can contact, I especially hate the I especially hate the moments where it is inconvenient and annoying, when there's problems and all that. But with these ones here, what's it called? I know, I wouldn't feel the good moments as much as I would if there weren't bad moments. But it was so short, you know, and I didn't want it to be over, and, what's it called? I didn't want to ruin what good time we were still having, so I kind of just held back my tears and emotions, and, you know, eventually, before Froppy left, because, like, she's, like, my best friend of the bunch, I just sort of, like, you know, because I've known her for 4 years now, and it is the first time we're meeting, I got to give her a really big hug, and I nearly cried as I did, and she gave me another hug, and like, you know, I walked her to the security bit, and yeah, I gave them a goodbye, and then like, I was on my way back to the parking lot, and I started really missing them. So, but I knew I couldn't drive without while I was still crying. So instead, I called my mom. I was like, "Hey, mom, I had a lot of fun at this trip and everything. Just talking about the good stuff while I was driving back home." And then afterwards, when mom hang up, I called sis. It was like, "Hey sis, you busy?" And she was like, "Yes, super busy. I'm so sorry. That's why I haven't responded to any of your messages throughout this weekend." And it was fine by that point. I didn't need to cry anymore, but I think it's been really hard for me to sleep recently because the last few nights beforehand, like before it was all over, I would actually have somebody in person to talk with and, interact with. And it was really fun. But now I don't really have that right now. And okay, there's still VCs I can join. And I have tried joining some of them. And it is fun, and it does help a little bit when I do versus when I don't, as I've experimented with myself just now. But, sorry, give me a sec. I miss them a lot. I miss having people I can really vibe with in person, and like, it was a nice experience, I got to try a lot of things that I hadn't in a very long time. And and like seeing like some really good friends of mine, especially somebody that's been helping me open up and all that. Seeing them leave. I have had a lot of experiences of never really seeing people who live far away more than once. Even if we still talk every now and then, It's hard when your entire life you've been living in a way that it tells you one thing. It's hard not to think about that, even if you know for sure deep down that it's not, it's not the end. Like, you'll be able to see them more in the future. It'll be fine. And I've just been really sad that, I got used to a lot of things really easily while I was in that hotel. Like, when I first got back, for example, my room felt really small in comparison. Cause like, I had a one-bedroom, like, a one-bedroom hotel, okay? A hotel room. And Froppy would sleep in the sofa, cause she was kinda, like, what's it called? It was originally just gonna be me. But she ended up sleeping in the sofa cause like, neither me nor her wanted her to sleep in the hostel. And for those of you who don't know what the what the difference between a hotel and a hostel is, a hotel gives you a private room. A hostel lets you sleep in like a room full of bunk beds with random strangers you've never met before. So naturally, I was like, "No, you're not staying there." Like, well, no, I wasn't like that. I was like, I really think you should stay somewhere else. And she eventually stuck with me, so that's why we ended up in the same hotel room. But yeah, I should have brought some tissues. Why don't I have tissues in my room? Yeah. I get real snotty when I cry. I'm sorry. Last time I slept in a hostel, I got my laptop and ID documents stolen. Yeah, what her plan was she was originally just gonna dump her luggage bag on my room, and then sleep at the hostel. But yeah, what's it called? Apparently, the reason she didn't just immediately jump into mine was because we'd never. Sorry. We hadn't met before in person. People can be different in person. And it took like all of 1 or 2 hours for her to be like, yeah, I'm okay with staying with you. Hello, Ferox. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I'm currently ugly crying. Really miss my friends. But yeah, like, I kind of wish I could live closer to them so that I can visit them more often. Unfortunately, like, I don't have anything to do in Melbourne that would justify either spending $300 or $400 on a plane ticket, or driving like 9 hours past toll roads. I don't even know how much a toll roads are gonna cost, just to see them and all that. And yeah. Oh, Meta took the train and Froppy took the plane. So there was that as well, which is why they didn't go together. But yeah. Yeah, and, I'm really happy that they are. Yeah. Joke's on you, I'm already depressed. Hello, Pommy, welcome. Yeah, hello, Cookies, as well. I don't think I got to say hi to you properly. And Dennis. But yeah, I really, really miss them, and I've been holding it back a lot. Hi, Froppy! I've been holding it back a lot. It's been hard to sleep. Because, like, not only did I don't know how I got so used to those types of nights where I was just, like, because, like, Baker and Meta had their own, hotel room. So they would go first, even though they stayed well into the night with us as well. Which was really nice as well, by the way. I really miss having friends over that late, And, like, I feel like it was a lot easier as well to get up while I was in the hotel with Froppy and all that, because quite honestly, I don't like it's usually really hard for me to get up in the morning, especially when I don't have enough sleep, because, well, I like sleeping a lot, which is why it's been. Yeah, it's easy to get comfortable when you feel safe. Yeah, I get that's true. And, like, I got used to that sort of thing, Not only having a bigger room with more comfortable bed somehow, even though my bed was like $900 on its own, and better pillows. That one I get, but, like, also it was comforting to have somebody there specifically who you mesh well with to talk to well into the night, even if you sacrifice sleep for it. Froppy was that for me. Along with not quite as late, but Baker and Meta were there too for me. And it was really fun. And, you sick. Just one of the things I feel with this is one of the things one of the things I felt, one of the things we I don't know, I got, I'd gotten used to being alone. And, like, sad as that sounds, you know, like, being alone aside from, like, VCs and whatnot that I'd occasionally join, I'd gotten used to that kind of lifestyle, but just with the amount of fun I had before, it's hard to get back into that lifestyle, because I really didn't want it to end, you know? Yeah. It's always fun to have you guys around too, and it will help me a little more to stream a little more. But honestly, part of the reason why I didn't stream immediately after the con like I intended was because I was kind of struggling a little bit, like I kind of am now. And I wasn't sure if I'd be able to focus too well on anything I did. And I figured at some point I'd, you know, do a post-con depression stream. And we'll meet again. We'll meet again. It's hard. After getting reintroduced to something really fun that I hadn't done in a long time. And then having to go back to the life I thought I got used to, you know? Truth is, like, even though I work really hard at work, I don't feel joy so much at work. And I've been more annoyed at work too. And I've been trying to hold that back as well. Because, you know, I need to keep up appearances and everything. So that my teammates aren't, you know, annoyed. Like, you know, I just keep doing work. And I just keep on listening to music underneath my beanie. Well, not beanie, but it's like a little hat thingy that covers my ears. So I can listen to music even though we're not supposed to. I only have one ear on, don't worry. Okay. My nose is completely blocked. I'm gonna be right back. I need to get some actual tissues. I'll be right back. Yeah, I brought the tissue back to my desk. But yeah. The other thing as well, as to why I feel sad, is that, thank you, I'm back. The other thing as well is that I am also currently starting to look for a place of my own to buy so that I'm not restricted by any other thing. It's easier to clean, I'm looking for a studio apartment of my own that I can live in. Because I miss my old studio apartment, As, when I started, give me a sec. Sorry guys. It's all good. Oh, to buy, not rent. Hell no, I'm not moving out if it's renting. Cheapest rent I can get is right here with my mother. Yeah, I pay rent for my mom so that she can pay, so that I can help her pay her mortgage. But, yeah, what's it called? I've been looking at studio apartments around the area. There was one really good one that was 5 to 10 minutes drive from work depending on traffic. Unfortunately, between the 6 hours with which I called the real estate agent the first time and the second time when I was thinking of, asking for an early inspection. Somebody had already done so and given an offer, and it was accepted by the owner. And I'm just like, son of a bitch! But, yeah, that's also part of the reason why I can't be too flippant with my money right now. I am trying to save up for a deposit so that I can get a home loan, because I can finally afford one. And, yeah, you know, studio apartment, cheap enough that it doesn't take off all of my borrowing power, and, small enough that I don't have to clean too much. It's like, what, I can do a full spring cleaning thing for, like, in, like, 20 minutes. If it's like a studio apartment, where I just go around, you know, dust everything, vacuum everything, even like wipe the walls with like a wet cloth and whatnot. Yeah. Give me a sec. Hello, Inochi. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your stay. Post-con flu is a thing too. Oh no, this is I'm not blowing my nose because I have the flu or anything. I was crying a while ago. You just missed the big ugly crying Lorelai. How are you, Inochi? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no. There's at the very least, okay, here's the thing. I have both major depressive disorder and ADHD, right? I actually don't know if I've talked about that before, but, well, I've talked about the ADHD part. I don't know about the major depressive part. But instead of the typical voices I usually drown out, nowadays, right now, most of what I think is I miss my friends, and, you know, it's a nice change of pace, but also, Jesus Christ, I'm not used to it, so it's really distracting at work. But, yeah, like, the part of me that's logical and part of me that's, like, what's it called? Always putting things to the extreme. Like, there's always a part of me that always puts things to the extreme. I'm getting better at getting rid of that, but like, pros, different voices. Cons, different voices. Yeah, that's so true. But yeah, what's it called? They it really was a really great experience. And Froppy, like, especially during the con and during the after party, she really went out of her way to sort of help me open up a lot more towards, like, speaking with other people. And I ended up, you know, I started out with people feeling awkward around me to actually liking me towards the end, because I actually did open up and everything, and, you know, I started being more cheerful and all that, and it's been a while since I was able to really be, you know, not self-conscious around people. But yeah. Thank you, Inachi. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's just that because I had so much fun, now I'm sad that it's over. I mean, we'll eventually see each other again. I just need to wait a while. It's just, I wish I could see them more, you know? Like Froppy, Baker, even Meta, who... Okay, here's the thing. Best kind of therapy, kitchen talk at 4 a.m. Yeah, actually, that's basically what happened. Hello, Ellie. How are you? Sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess right now. Yeah, I just really missed them is all. And I feel like I've been holding on to that for so long. I thought for sure I wasn't going to cry anymore because I was no longer feeling like crying, which is why I finally decided to stream, and then I still did, and I'm sorry. Friends aren't just seen as regular friends, you see them as family too. Yeah, honestly. Like, what's it called? Like I said before as well, like, Roppy's been helping me to open up a lot more as well. And I admire her greatly for that. And, like, you know, I had a lot of fun when I was, with her and her friends, and Meta, and Baker, who were also my friends. It was really fun, and I'm just parroting everything again, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. It was really good, and, yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. But yes, hugs. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Nochi. Yeah, thank you, anime girl. I think I just get attached too easily, to be honest. Cause, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I don't know how to explain it in words right now. Probably doesn't help that I didn't take my medication this morning. I kind of forgot because I was late. Yeah. Like, part of me just sort of wants to, you know, part of me kind of feels like maybe I'm not emotionally equipped to have friends and then just not be able to see those friends for a while. But part of me knows I'm just not used to it anymore. Because it didn't used to be that big a problem, you know? Like, yeah. Anyways. That was the con, basically. Right, I forgot to mention, on the first day of the con, I ended up cosplaying as a male version of Cappy. Like, it was like a discount cosplay, but it was still a cosplay nonetheless. And all the Mitas recognized me. And, like, there were some other cosplayers who recognized me too, and it was really fun. It was a really wholesome moment as well when me and Froppy were walking up the rooftop where some of the cosplayers were taking photos. We saw a Mita, and, like, one of her friends tapped that Mita's shoulder and was like, hey, look, over there. And then as soon as that Mita looked at me... As soon as that Mita looked at me, she, like, gasped and then screamed and then came towards me and was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! And then, like, she went back to her bag and then grabbed her own Cappy hat because she was playing as the crazy Mita before. And then we just took a photo together. It was so wholesome. It was so great. I'm so glad Froppy talked me into, talking to the Mita cosplayer. It was a really nice, it was a really nice, wholesome experience as well. I never got their name, unfortunately, but it was really fun. I will forever treasure that memory. Yeah, I'm grateful to have met you guys too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've really had to say. It was really good. I haven't had that much fun with people in a very long time. Like, meeting up IRL with people you've known for a while is like, that you hadn't met before is like really exciting, to be honest. And I want to meet more of my friends. Unfortunately, I am currently saving up for a house or like an apartment. Probably a studio apartment, to be honest, but like, yeah, it's pretty much as much as I can afford. Plus, it is what I want, so... No, it's all good, it's all good. I'm glad that you're here. It's the conversation topic anyways. We are here to be a bit sappy today. A bit emotional. Aw, that's unfortunate. Hopefully one day you get a chance to see them again, but... yeah. I for sure know that I'll meet them again. It's just I'm not used to it anymore. I wasn't used to having friends around, and then I got to see how happy I got with them around. Like, okay. This is a little bit sad, and a little bit, oh. I mean, I can hiss if you want. But yeah, okay, so... I'm gonna get a little bit serious here for a moment. If you don't want anything too serious, you know, feel free to, like, I don't know, clock out for like 5 minutes or something. But I have this constant thought that I've been trying to get rid of, and I have transformed it into something else. I won't say what the first thought was, but nowadays my thoughts are, whilst I don't really wish I existed because of all the harsh things that happens in between, I do exist, so I'll make the most of it. And that has been my usual thought process. Sad as that sounds. But, you know, I've gone through therapy and I've kind of tried to change it a little bit, which is why it's now that instead of the even worse part, which is just I straight up don't want to exist. But I want to exist, stuff like that. Now, with having met them, during that time that I did meet them, I did want to exist, at least in that moment. And I want more of that, you know? More experiences that make me want to, like, make me want to exist instead of just want to exist. And, yeah. I want to meet more friends. I want to meet more, you know, I want to see more things, do more things that make me feel that way. It's been so long since I've tried doing those things. And it's sad that I only got to experience it for a bit, you know? It was too far fucking short. Felt the swing floor, and you're getting to know, allowed to know you, happy to introduce some connections. Yeah. And I thank you for that. I need to plot out events during every month as a goal for those hard days. It's tough, but it's worth it, and I'm glad you want to do more at least. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. Like, I'm happy for people to vent during this stream as well, because I'm venting. Like, vent streams like this, everybody can vent. But, like, But, you know, like, under normal streams, on the other hand, usually I don't like people venting because, like, it takes away from the current topic and all that, makes it the focus instead of whatever else. But right now, venting is the topic, so vent away! Yeah. Finding the right connections and friends can help. And I am thinking about visiting more friends. But at the same time, I'm at a crossroads right now. I know the interest rates are going to lower soon because of whatever the heck happened around the world. Fair enough. Well, nothing super major, but like, yeah, no, okay, fair. If anything is possible, I always wondered, why am I so calm about similar situations? Guess I'm blah blah blah. Well, see, here's the thing. Some people are more emotional than others, and some people have a, like, you know. It really depends. I did get most of my feelings out. Yes, Proppy. Thank you. I cried a lot. But yeah. Froppy I miss one of, like, I probably miss Froppy the most because number one, I've known her the most. Number two, she's the one I've opened up to the most. Both in, like, Actually, technically overall as well. And like, once again, highly, like, you know, highly respect Froppy here. An emotional friend with a bunch of less emotional besties, it's a spectrum pair. But yeah, in terms of emotions, like, it depends. I am emotional, but when it's about loss of friends or contact with them, I'm usually very calm about it. Relationships is the other thing, though. Still don't move on since my last time. Aww. I hope you can recover soon from that as well. You are unrespectable. I don't know. I mean, I really talked you up a while ago. I think some people will definitely respect you now. Yeah. And I'm glad I'm able to at least open up this much with you guys. Like, obviously I won't open up too much about all the other serious things, because, like, you know, personal life and all that, and also I could get doxxed by certain things that I say, so I'll be able to refrain. Oh, it's fine. Like, I basically just said that you are the type of person to go through hell if it means, you know, if it means everybody gets to have fun. You know, something along those lines. I mean, I talked about it for like 10 minutes, but like, you know, you can probably just find that part of the stream later on. Yeah, singing is a really good way of venting as well. And like, what's it called? That's another thing, actually. During the karaoke, during the last few hours, I decided, like, I knew it was almost over and I wasn't going to see these people again for a long time, if ever. At the very least, Froppy I wouldn't be able to see for a long time. And, so I started, I hope I get to visit Australia soon. A little scared-ish about the numerous things there that can freaking TKO your life. Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Most of the things that can TKO you here, you probably won't run into. Like, realistically speaking, unless you're going straight to the bush or whatever else, you're not going to find things that can TKO you. That being said, birds are still assholes here and will steal your food actively. They are not scared of you. Also, there was this one time where I found like 2 separate turkeys within a minute just wandering around the city. It was funny. Anyways, what's it called? I am going to sing one song that's going to be a little bit more emotional as well. See if I can find an instrumental that won't get me demonetized. Now that I actually do have to worry about getting demonetized. I actually don't know about that one. I will never better still want to live. Yeah. There are a few things in Queensland that are native to Queensland. Or at least more seeable in Queensland. But yeah, let's see. Lemon. Acoustic karaoke. Piano cover. Okay. So I'm going to sing this one song. And this is something that I ended up writing in the middle of, I will make a, proper cover for this. But, I did want to put this out there now. I wrote English lyrics for Lemon while at the karaoke because I started feeling sad that it was almost over. And I finished it within half an hour, which is like, you know, the fastest I've finished an English lyrics, I think. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna sing this now. Oh, I missed my cue. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. If this were a dream, I'd wish for nothing more than to go back. Even now, seeing you every restless night, I cry to myself, like remembering the times we spent, the place I felt at home. My heart crawling and burrowing through memories of us. Of all the things you taught to me, there's one I do recall. That no matter what, there are times when even joy can't be rebuilt. I had buried all my twisted thoughts and drowned all of my guilt. Had I never met you before all this, I wouldn't be here now. Everything that you gave to me, everything that I threw away, this regret is the biggest that I'll ever endure. Even when I fell into my sorrow, even when my heart was aching silent, I adored seconds passing every single time you were by my side. Buried deep within our tears, as sour as a lemon's bitter scent. And until these clouds within my heart are gone, I can't move on. Oh, whoops. Hang on. I started choking again. In my heart are gone, I can't move on. Even now my heart still aches for all the light that you would bring. In the darkness of my lucid thoughts, I carve away your sight. I take in all of the beauty and imperfections you had held. Yet when things become unbearable, I'm left to question why. My tears seem to continue flowing on without an end. Tell me everything that you've seen, tell me everything that you've done. There's no way to be able to predict how you feel. If you feel the same regret and sorrow, if the pain I feel is shared with yours, take away the memories and forget that I had ever lived at all. That is all that I can ever wish for, to relieve you of my blight. Just a desperate wish with all my heart to fix the scars below. Even now my heart still aches for all the light that you would bring. More than I could ever say, more than I could ever show. I had come to love you more and more, like a dream that fades to snow. I can only ever see the truth staring me down till I'm broken. I think I missed a verse. Even when my heart went into my sorrow, even when my heart was aching silent, I adored seconds passing every single time you were by my side. Buried deep within our tears, as sour as a lemon's bitter scent. And until these clouds within my heart are gone, I can't move on. Even if I'm torn apart and broken down into my core, even now my heart still aches for all the light that you would bring. Ah. Okay, so I'm missing 2 lines to put here. Whoops. I actually haven't listened to Jubiphonic's cover of this. Which is interesting to say. I don't think I've listened to anyone else's English lemon English version. Amazing Digital Circus kind of helped me frame some difficulties I was having, 2 different perspectives. Ah, okay. Wait, episode 5 is out? Oh shit! I need to catch up. I do like some of Juby's songs. Okay, here's the thing with me and Juby. She's either a hit or miss for me. Either I really like her lyrics, or I really don't like her lyrics. There is no in between. Like, for example, Teroru. I fucking loved her Teroru cover. Like, that shit saved me when I was a teen. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I've missed out on a lot of things. I've been too busy preparing for this meetup, and also making sure that I get enough hours so that I can finish the hours before I go in the holidays. So I am now monetized, which is great. I'm glad they make you happy then. But yeah, no, the thing about me as well, like, and this is a recurring thing, you can never ask me who my favorite singer is, or my favorite genre, or any of that type of stuff, okay? There will be some song in a specific genre that I will like, regardless if I hate the rest of it. And that's the same thing with artists as well. You can never catch me doing oh oh no, it's okay. You don't have to. I appreciate it though. But yeah, like, what's it called? What was I saying again? Fuck, my ADHD just kicked in. Let's see. Right. Was it favorite artists? Right. You will never find me doing brand loyalty. I don't have brand loyalty specifically to anybody. For example, aw, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. You really didn't have to, though. But I do appreciate you. What's it called? What was I gonna say? Right. I don't have any specific loyalties to specific people, like specific artists and whatnot. Aw, that's all good. I'm about to end anyways. I'm just capping it off real quick. But yeah, like, for example, I like Calliope Mori's songs. But there's also a lot of songs I don't like about Calliope Mori. That's all good. Thank you. But yeah, like, for example, I really like the songs that I like from Calliope Mori is let's see. I like Red, Cursed Night, End of a Life, Black Sheep, You're Not Special. What else? There was one other song that I really liked. I can't remember what the other song was right now at the top of my head. But, like, there's also a lot of songs I really don't like. I can't remember which ones they are because I don't listen to them at all. But yeah, no, I like specific things from specific artists and specific genres. There is no way for you to be like, but what's your favorite? Which one do you listen to the most? Yeah, about that. My music playlist is literally littered with all sorts of genres from all sorts of people. There is no rhyme or reason. I just like what I like. I think the only one that I actually actively avoid and dislike is, like, Justin Bieber, because I'm that type of hippie. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I see so many people be like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan of this and that, you know. And, like, musicals as well, you know, you can never, I want to say I'm a fan of a lot of musicals. But for a lot of musicals, I only like a few songs off of them. Like, I don't necessarily dislike the rest of the songs. But in terms of the ones that I actually really like, for example, Hamilton, I like Guns and Ships and all those stuff and all that. Like, what's it called? Burn, Guns and Ships, Hurricane, and what was the other one? The one that the King sings. You'll be back. You'll be back. Soon you'll see. You know, that one. Da 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 da. Oh, that's all good. Yeah. Honestly, like, here's the thing, man. I'm doing this for you because I wish somebody did it for me before I ended up hurting some people, you know? I know what it's like to not realize you're hurting somebody until it's too late. And yeah, but that's a topic for, that's a topic maybe for another day. Possibly off stream. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it, really. I just really wanted to vent out my emotions and stuff. And, yeah. I still miss my friends. That's all good. See, you're catching yourself. You're already improving. That's all good, anime girl. I hope everybody had fun regardless, even if it was kind of a downer stream. Yeah, let's catch up sometime as well. I still need to try out that new deck that you built for me. Meh. Sorry, just getting rid of some leftover snot from all the big ugly crying. Oh yeah, hey Nochi, did I ever tell you that I ended up dressing up and as a girl and speaking like a girl out in the city during this con? And when we got back to the hotel room, some guys started hitting on me. Yeah, it was so funny because I was like, oh, no thanks, I'm good. And I really should have said, sure thing, but just so you know, I'm full of vitamin D. I really should have said that, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't know who was going to, I didn't know how he was going to react to the no in the first place, so... Heck yeah, I might actually try and do more VCs on my server soon. I'll probably be like, hey, who's available? The VC thing is like, I'm gonna be on the VC for a bit. Gives you strong bones. I really should have, but yeah, no. It was my first time and I wasn't sure how I was supposed to handle it. It was so funny. Like, yeah. Anyways. Thank you again, everybody, so much for joining. Like I say at the end of every stream, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna go see if I can redirect to somebody I know. Let's see. Oh, hey! Nori's on. Let's go say hi to Nori. Okay. I'll be like, hashtag cardboard portrait. Oh, you have a random story for us? Sure. Aw, thank you, anime girl. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, real quick, Inochi, what is it? Or if it's like a private thing. Is it gonna be a DM thing? Save it for a call. Okay, okay. That sounds good. Alright. That's the raid message. Hashtag cardboard fort raid. And I'll see you all next time. Take care of yourselves and sweet nightmares. Bye-bye! Oh god, my neck. Oh, I can't do that right now. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna say bye!